Welcome back to Tamil Nadu, where the Madras High Court has outlined their order on the death of a schoolgirl that has sent shockwaves across the state. As per the order, another autopsy will be conducted. A special team will also be formed to identify the accused, and the court will be monitoring the probe into the violence that took place on Sunday. Section 144 is in place in Tamil Nadu's Kallakurichi. Meanwhile, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has said that those responsible for the violence will be brought to justice. The CBCID has arrested the school principal, math and chemistry teachers along with 192 others in connection with the violence.
கல்வி நிலையங்கள் ஒவ்வொரு பிள்ளைகளையும் தங்களது சொந்த பிள்ளைகளாக நினைத்து அவர்களை பயிற்றுவிக்க வேண்டும். மாறாக நடக்கும் எந்த செயல்களாக இருந்தாலும் அவர்கள் சட்டத்தின் முன் நிறுத்தப்பட்டு தண்டிக்கப்படுவார்கள் என எச்சரிக்கிறேன். இந்த சோகமான சூழலை பயன்படுத்திக் கொண்டு சிலர் சேர்ந்து சட்டவிரோதமாக நடந்து கொண்டுள்ளார்கள். வன்முறைகள் என்பது வளர்ச்சிக்கு எதிரானவை என்பதை அவர்கள் உணர வேண்டும். அமைதியான தமிழகம்தான் அனைவருக்குமான தமிழகமாக அமையும் என்பதை அனைவரும் உணர வேண்டும்.
காயம் அதுக்கான அது அந்த மண்டை ரத்தம் ஏன் உடைஞ்சது அதுக்கான ரிப்போர்ட்ல எதுவுமே சொல்லல சார். எதே சம்பந்தமே இல்லாத சொன்னாங்க. எலும்பு முறிவேல முறிஞ்சிடுச்சுன்னு போய் சொல்றாங்க சார். சார் உடம்புல நிறைய நகைக்கீரங்கள் இருந்தது, இங்க காயா இருந்தது, எல்லாத்தையுமே மறைக்கப்பட்டிருக்காங்க சார். சரியான நீதி கிடைச்சி கொலகாரனை கண்டுபிடிச்சு கொலகாரனுக்கு தக்க தண்டனை வழங்கின பிறகுதான் ஸ்ரீமதியின் பிரேதம் வாங்கி கொண்டு போய் எரிக்கப்படும்.
So the family clearly alleging foul play. Ritu is joining us with more details. Ritu, what have you been able to understand? You are at the district collector's office. How's the situation on ground after a very, very tense and violent Sunday?
Yes, after the violence that erupted on Sunday, right exactly on the premises of the residential school, you see there was a lot of vandalism, and in fact a lot of school vehicles were been set on fire, and police personal's vehicles too were not been spared. But the whole campus of the school was in fact ups and downs. That we got the visuals in fact and showed what is on the ground level. But here at the collector office, the education minister as well as the PWD minister is going to speak to the media and tell what has been their observation and what are the further decisions they are likely to take when it comes to this education system of that particular school, because there are a lot of parents who are already out of the campus and are demanding that the school must be reopened, and there is a lot of demands that the parents have placed right in front of the education minister, saying that the education of the other students are in fact being at halt, and this is a major damage to their career as well, because the second PUC exam for that matter or a 10th standard student are likely to in fact are very close to attend their board exams as well. So that's a crucial time for this set of students, and thus the education minister must take a decision. In fact, more sooner is what the parents have been demanding. But as said at the collector's office, the education minister is going to speak what are the further decisions or what is that the government is deciding and what will be done. But on the other side, you see, I just spoke to one of the classmate of this particular student who died by suicide. So we have got some inputs of what the classmate of this particular student had to say, is that just a day before she committed a suicide in the classroom, there was a teacher in fact that she did not mention to me that because she is still a student of that school and is scared of being on camera. So this is something that she has told me off the camera, is that just a day before that she died by the suicide. In the class, there was one teacher, in fact, who had a word with this girl regarding her performance and told her to concentrate more on the study side. And there were other few words as well that were being exchanged between the teacher as well as this particular student. Now, and there, this classmate of hers clearly stated us that she went on crying and she sobbed for a very long time, and she was very feeling down as well on the same day. But this is something that the classmates did not expect, that she would take up this big decision the very next day itself. So this is something that we have learnt on ground.
Right. Now that is something that's been told off record. Now who that teacher is, that's a matter of investigation, and what were the words that were exchanged. And I'm sure there will be other students who would in an inquiry want to come up and offer, because it happened in the classroom. But Ritu, the other larger question is, the parents are alleging huge amount of physical abuse on the child. Now who are they pointing fingers on? And the other aspect, have the local authorities been able to put a finger on what triggered such rampant violence on Sunday?
Yes, see, you see the parents themselves in the court saying that they were nowhere part of that violence protest that erupted on the Sunday, because they say they had taken out the peaceful protest on Wednesday, but they were nowhere part in this particular violence that went on. And you see the protesters going on a rampage, but in fact, as I explained on the ground as well, this protest took place in the three manner, that one set of protesters coming from left hand side, the other set of people coming from right hand side, and the localites in fact barged into the campus from behind the campus. So there's a lot that has happened on the ground, but you see the local officials saying that it is all to the investigation, that everything will come out. But in fact, there is a lot that the arrests are being also made in this particular case. So during the investigation, there will be a lot that will also come forward, but it is to the investigation now that what exactly happened, who triggered it, because this violence that erupted in such a severe manner is not very easily been done. There would be a lot that would have gone behind it, because the court also mentioned saying that it was in fact the kind of, it was not a provocational type, but it was an organized crime, as what the judge himself had to say, and also told that there will be he had in fact asked the state government for the special teams that has to be formed to understand what went wrong, who came on to that severe level and had damaged that whole premises, and what in fact triggered, and then intensified, because the peaceful protests were been seen from couple of days, but all sudden on the Sunday, why was that level of protest that took place on the campus? And you see the severe damage that has been made to the campus. This clearly indicates that there is not one or two things, but there would be a lot that has gone behind. So this is now to the investigation, but you see the court has gone heavily down on to the parents, for that matter, who have demanded for the re-examination. And now the court has also allowed their demand to be met, that under the presence of the advocate as well as the family, but the videography will be made, is something they say. But now this comes right after the parents saying that, because it's all, as parents are alleging, what we are knowing is just right after the 36 hours of the girl committing suicide, the officials of the school called the parents and tell this. But now what the parents had on the other side had made a point is that the fresh injuries were being noted. So this is not something that was usual, but there is a lot to that suicide death. So that's what the parents are demanding, and they are up in arms that the justice has to be prevailed to the family.
True. So 36 hours lag, what caused that lag, and who are responsible for that, and what explains the amount of physical abuse or injury marks on the child's body? Those are questions that the parents are asking. Thank you for your inputs, Ritu. Moving on, and from Tamil Nadu to neighboring Kerala, ladies and gentlemen, where controversy over the